The person you love just lost control after seeing this in you. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. If these words found you today, don't dismiss them too quickly, because sometimes the most unexpected moments carry the messages our hearts have been waiting to hear. Out of everything you could have been doing right now, you stopped here, and that pause may be more meaningful than you realize. There is a shift happening around you that you cannot fully see yet, but someone very close to your heart has already begun to feel it. The person you love recently saw something in you they had never truly noticed before, and the moment they did, every emotional wall they spent so long building began to crack. They tried to remain calm. They tried to convince themselves it wasn't affecting them. They told themselves they were simply overthinking. But the truth is, something inside them changed the instant they saw what had been quietly growing inside you all along. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. For a long time, they believed they understood you. They thought they knew your personality, your dreams, your fears, and even your heart. But what they knew was only the version of you that the world was allowed to see. They never realized how much strength existed beneath your quiet smile. They never understood how many battles you had fought without asking anyone to rescue you. They saw you continue moving forward, but they never knew how many nights you questioned yourself in silence before finding the courage to stand again the next morning. They admired your resilience without understanding where it came from. Then something happened that completely changed their perspective. Maybe they watched the way you handled a difficult situation with grace instead of anger. Maybe they noticed how you treated someone who couldn't offer you anything in return. Maybe they saw you choose kindness at a moment when bitterness would have been easier. Whatever the moment was, it wasn't loud or dramatic. It was quiet, genuine, and impossible to ignore. In that instant, they saw the real you. Not the version people assume they know. Not the version shaped by rumors or misunderstandings. They saw the heart behind your actions, and it caught them completely off guard. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There is something incredibly powerful about authenticity. It cannot be copied, and it cannot be faked for very long. Genuine character reveals itself in ordinary moments when nobody expects to be watched. That's exactly what happened. The person you love wasn't looking for a reason to feel differently about you, yet life placed one directly in front of them. They noticed your patience when others were becoming frustrated. They noticed your compassion when someone else would have walked away. They noticed that even after everything life had asked you to endure, you still carried hope instead of resentment. That realization unsettled them in the most beautiful way. Suddenly they began questioning every assumption they had ever made about you. They replayed old conversations, remembering words they had overlooked before. They remembered moments when you quietly encouraged them even while carrying your own burdens. They remembered how safe it felt to be around you, how peaceful your presence was compared to the chaos they often experienced elsewhere. It was almost as if someone had turned on a light inside their heart, revealing something that had been there all along but hidden beneath distraction and fear. They couldn't stop thinking about you. Not because they wanted to force those thoughts, but because truth has a way of demanding attention once it finally reaches the heart. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Have you noticed that you've been changing lately? Maybe you're no longer chasing people who constantly make you question your worth. Maybe you've started protecting your peace instead of trying to win every argument. Maybe you've learned that walking away from what drains your spirit is not weakness but wisdom. Those changes matter. They are shaping your energy in ways you may not even recognize. The confidence growing inside you isn't loud or arrogant. It's quiet. It's steady. It's the confidence of someone who has finally realized they don't have to shrink themselves to make others comfortable. That quiet confidence is exactly what the person you love noticed. They expected to see the same version of you they had always known, but instead they encountered someone stronger, calmer, and more deeply connected to who they truly are. That unexpected transformation left them speechless. They couldn't explain why your presence suddenly felt so different. They only knew they couldn't stop thinking about it afterward. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Around this same time, little signs began appearing in unexpected places. Perhaps you've noticed repeating numbers like 111, 222, or 444 showing up more often than usual. Many people see these moments as gentle reminders to slow down, reflect, and stay open to growth. Whether they carry spiritual meaning for you or simply encourage mindfulness, they can become meaningful pauses in a busy day. The person you love has been experiencing similar moments. Every time they stop long enough to reflect, your memory quietly enters their thoughts. They begin wondering why your name keeps appearing in their mind during moments of peace rather than moments of confusion. They begin recognizing that thinking about you no longer creates uncertainty. Instead, it brings a strange sense of clarity. That realization surprises them because they spent so much time convincing themselves they had everything figured out. Now they understand they were only seeing the surface. The deeper truth was waiting patiently until they were emotionally ready to recognize it. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. The more they think about you, the more they realize that what affected them wasn't your appearance, your achievements, or anything temporary. It was your heart. It was the way you remained kind without needing recognition. It was the way you chose integrity when shortcuts would have been easier. It was the way you offered understanding instead of judgment. They suddenly realized how rare those qualities have become. In a world where so many people are trying to impress others, you quietly focused on becoming a better human being. That difference has become impossible for them to ignore. They catch themselves comparing every interaction they have with others to the peace they felt around you. They notice how exhausting shallow conversations have become now that they've remembered what genuine connection feels like. They begin questioning what truly matters in life. Success no longer seems as meaningful without someone who brings peace into their heart. Achievement feels incomplete without authenticity. Those thoughts arrive unexpectedly, yet each one leads back to you. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. While they are experiencing this emotional awakening, your own journey continues moving forward. You may not realize it yet, but every challenge you've overcome has prepared you for this season of growth. Every disappointment taught you discernment. Every setback strengthened your resilience. Every unanswered question encouraged you to trust yourself more deeply. You are becoming someone who no longer settles for half-hearted effort or uncertain intentions. You are learning that healthy love begins with self-respect. Ironically, that inner transformation is exactly what the person you love could no longer ignore. They didn't lose control because of one dramatic event. They lost control because they finally saw the truth. They saw someone who had every reason to become bitter yet chose compassion instead. They saw someone who had every excuse to stop believing in love yet continued leading with kindness. They saw someone who had quietly become extraordinary without ever needing applause. That realization overwhelmed them more than they expected. Yet even after everything they have discovered, one question refuses to leave their heart. They keep asking themselves whether they recognized your worth in time or whether they allowed fear and hesitation to create a distance that may already be too great to cross. That question has become impossible to silence, because very soon they are about to witness one more side of you. A side that will challenge everything they believed about love, destiny, and the future they secretly hope might still include you. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Ever since the person you love saw that quiet strength inside you, nothing has felt ordinary to them anymore. They have tried to convince themselves that they were simply being emotional, that the moment would pass and life would return to normal, but instead the opposite has happened. Every sunrise seems to remind them of something you once said. Every peaceful evening somehow brings your face back into their thoughts. They can be surrounded by people, carrying on conversations, laughing at jokes, completing their responsibilities, and yet beneath all of that, there is one constant feeling they can no longer ignore. Something about you has reached a place inside their heart that no one else has been able to touch. They didn't expect this. They weren't looking for it. In fact, they believed they had everything under control until they saw the version of you that had quietly emerged through your healing, your patience, and your unwavering authenticity. That was the moment everything changed. It wasn't your appearance that stayed in their mind. It wasn't something you said to impress anyone. It was the quiet confidence you carried without trying to prove anything. It was the peace in your spirit that made them realize how much noise they had been living with inside themselves. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There is a kind of strength that only comes after surviving seasons that almost broke you. It cannot be purchased, copied, or taught overnight. It is built one difficult day at a time. The person you love finally recognized that strength in you, and once they did, they began questioning everything they thought they knew about love. They remembered the version of you who continued showing kindness even after disappointment. They remembered the way you listened when everyone else only wanted to speak. They remembered how you celebrated other people's victories without making everything about yourself. At the time, those moments seemed ordinary. Now they understand they were witnessing something incredibly rare. They began asking themselves why your presence always felt different. Why did conversations with you stay in their memory longer than conversations with anyone else? Why did your encouragement still echo in their heart months later? Why did they feel calmer whenever they imagined being around you? Those questions became impossible to ignore because every answer pointed in the same direction. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't convenience. It was the realization that genuine people leave lasting impressions, not because they try to be unforgettable, but because they make others feel safe enough to be themselves. That is the gift you unknowingly gave them. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. While these emotions have been growing inside their heart, your own journey has continued transforming you in beautiful ways. Maybe you don't even recognize how much you've changed because growth happens quietly. It happens every time you choose peace over proving yourself. It happens every time you forgive without forgetting the lesson. It happens every time you refuse to let disappointment make you cynical. Think about where you were a year ago. Remember the fears that once controlled your thoughts. Notice how many of those fears no longer have the same power over you. You have become stronger without becoming harder. You have become wiser without losing your compassion. You have learned that protecting your heart doesn't mean closing it forever. It means allowing only genuine people to enter. That quiet transformation has completely changed your energy. The person you love can feel it even if they don't fully understand why. They expected to see someone seeking validation. Instead, they saw someone who had already found it within themselves. There is something incredibly magnetic about a person who no longer chases approval because they have discovered their own worth. That realization shook them more deeply than they expected. Suddenly they began wondering if they had underestimated you all along. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Recently they found themselves replaying moments they had almost forgotten. They remembered times when you noticed they were struggling before they even admitted it. They remembered how you encouraged them without expecting anything in return. They remembered how you believed in their potential even during seasons when they couldn't believe in themselves. Those memories now carry a completely different meaning. Instead of seeing isolated moments, they see a pattern. They realize that your heart has always been consistent. Your kindness wasn't temporary. Your loyalty wasn't conditional. Your compassion wasn't something you offered only when life was easy. It remained steady through every circumstance. That consistency has become impossible for them to overlook. In a world where so much feels uncertain, they suddenly recognize how valuable emotional stability truly is. They realize that the peace they have been searching for may have been quietly standing beside them all along. This realization fills them with both gratitude and regret. Gratitude because they finally understand your value. Regret because they wonder how many opportunities they wasted before learning this lesson. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Have you been noticing little signs appearing around you lately? Maybe you've looked at the clock at exactly 11:11 more than once. Maybe 2:22 appeared while you were wondering whether to trust your intuition. Maybe 4:44 showed up during a difficult day when you desperately needed reassurance. Many people see repeating numbers as gentle reminders to slow down and reconnect with what matters most. Whether you interpret them spiritually or simply as meaningful patterns, they can invite you to reflect instead of rushing through life. The person you love has been experiencing similar moments. Every time one of these patterns appears, your memory quietly returns. They have stopped brushing it aside because the feeling has become too consistent to ignore. They have begun listening to their own heart instead of trying to silence it. In that quiet listening, they have made an unexpected discovery. The thing they admire most about you isn't perfection. It's authenticity. You never pretended to have all the answers. You never tried to appear flawless. You simply continued becoming a better person through every challenge life placed in front of you. That kind of growth inspires them more than they ever imagined possible. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There have been nights when they stared out the window asking themselves questions they never expected to ask. What if fear caused them to overlook something extraordinary? What if they spent so much time protecting themselves that they failed to recognize someone who genuinely cared? What if the qualities they had been searching for everywhere else had quietly existed in you from the very beginning? These questions don't leave easily. They follow them into ordinary moments. They return while driving familiar roads. They appear while hearing songs that suddenly remind them of your smile, your voice, or the comfort they always felt around you. It isn't because they are trapped in the past. It's because truth has finally caught up with them. Truth often arrives quietly, but once it reaches the heart, it changes everything. They have started realizing that real love is not built on excitement alone. It grows through trust, consistency, mutual respect, and emotional safety. Every time they compare those qualities with the way they felt around you, their heart becomes even more certain that what they experienced with you was unlike anything else. Meanwhile, your own spirit continues moving toward greater peace. You are learning to release what no longer serves your future. You are discovering that your happiness cannot depend on someone else's readiness to understand your worth. You are choosing faith over fear, growth over resentment, and hope over discouragement. That quiet decision has created a light within you that others naturally notice. The person you love noticed it too, and once they saw it, they realized they could never look at you the same way again. Yet despite every realization, every memory, every quiet moment of reflection, one fear still remains inside their heart. They wonder whether they recognized your value too late. They wonder if your life has already begun moving toward a future where they no longer have a place. They wonder whether your healing has made you too strong to ever look back. That question has become heavier with each passing day because deep inside they know one undeniable truth. They may have lost control the moment they truly saw your heart, but what frightens them most now is the possibility of losing the chance to tell you everything they finally understand before destiny carries both of you into completely different chapters. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Something has shifted again, and this time it is happening so quietly that almost no one around you can see it, yet the person you love feels it every single day. Ever since they truly recognized the strength, peace, and authenticity growing inside you, their heart has entered a season of reflection they never expected. They thought they could ignore it. They believed time would eventually quiet their emotions. They told themselves they were simply caught up in a temporary feeling. But every attempt to push you out of their mind only brought them back to the same undeniable realization. You are no longer just a memory to them. You have become a mirror, reflecting the kind of love, honesty, and emotional safety they suddenly realize they have been searching for all along. They wake up in the morning expecting another ordinary day, yet before they even leave the house, something reminds them of you. It might be a sunrise that carries the same warmth as your smile. It might be a quiet moment before the world becomes busy. It might be a simple act of kindness between strangers that instantly reminds them of the way you always treated people with compassion, even when no one was watching. These moments aren't loud. They don't demand attention. Yet somehow they carry more power than anything dramatic ever could. They have started to understand that the deepest truths rarely arrive through chaos. They arrive through stillness. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There was a time when they admired confidence that demanded attention, success that impressed everyone, and relationships that looked perfect from the outside. But life has a remarkable way of changing what we value. Experience has taught them that appearances fade, excitement comes and goes, but peace is priceless. They now understand that every time they were around you, there was a calm they couldn't explain. You never needed to compete for attention. You never tried to become someone else just to be accepted. You carried yourself with quiet integrity, and at the time they didn't fully appreciate how rare that truly was. Now, after seeing different people, different situations, and different versions of what love can look like, they finally recognize the gift they almost overlooked. They have begun comparing every connection they experience with the feeling they had whenever you entered the room. No one else seems to create the same sense of comfort. No one else leaves the same lasting impression. Instead of becoming frustrated, this realization has humbled them. They understand now that genuine hearts cannot be replaced simply because time passes. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. While they have been moving through this emotional awakening, your own spirit has continued becoming stronger in ways you may not fully recognize. Think about how much you have survived. Think about every disappointment that could have convinced you to stop believing in good people. Think about every unanswered question that could have filled your heart with bitterness. Yet here you are. You are still choosing kindness. You are still choosing hope. You are still choosing to become a better version of yourself instead of allowing pain to define you. That is the something they saw in you. It wasn't perfection. It wasn't popularity. It wasn't anything temporary. It was resilience wrapped in gentleness. It was strength expressed through compassion. It was wisdom that came from healing instead of hardening. Those qualities have become impossible for them to forget because they now understand that anyone can be kind when life is easy. The true character of a person is revealed by how they love after life has tested them. When they realized that about you, they felt something inside themselves break open. It wasn't weakness. It was honesty. They finally admitted that your influence on their life had been far greater than they ever allowed themselves to believe. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Have you noticed how your intuition has become quieter yet stronger? Instead of feeling confused about every decision, you are beginning to trust yourself. Instead of asking everyone else what they think, you are learning to listen to your own heart first. Perhaps you've noticed repeating numbers appearing during moments of reflection. Maybe you keep seeing 111 when you're thinking about a new beginning. Maybe 333 appears during moments when you're searching for encouragement. Maybe 777 catches your attention just when you need a reminder to keep believing in your own growth. Many people see these repeating numbers as gentle invitations to slow down and become more aware of what is happening within them. Whether you see them as spiritual signs or meaningful coincidences, let them remind you that your journey is still unfolding. Every season has been preparing you for something greater than you can currently see. The person you love has also begun noticing these quiet pauses. Every time they stop rushing through life, they find themselves thinking about the same question. What was it about you that changed them so deeply? The answer finally arrived one evening when they were sitting alone without distractions. It wasn't something you said. It wasn't one specific moment. It was the way you consistently lived your values. They realized you never changed your character to fit the room you were standing in. You treated people with respect whether they could help you or not. You remained honest even when honesty was difficult. You celebrated other people without secretly competing with them. You carried empathy into situations where most people carried judgment. Suddenly they understood that your greatest quality was consistency. You were the same person in private as you were in public. That kind of authenticity has become incredibly rare. And once they recognized it, they couldn't stop admiring it. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. As these realizations grew stronger, something unexpected began happening. The person you love started imagining conversations that had never taken place. They pictured themselves finally thanking you for things they never acknowledged. They imagined apologizing for moments when they misunderstood your intentions. They imagined telling you how much your quiet strength inspired them long after your conversations ended. They even caught themselves smiling while remembering little details that once seemed insignificant. The way you laughed without pretending. The way you encouraged people who had lost confidence in themselves. The way you listened carefully before speaking. Those memories became treasures they never knew they were collecting while they were happening. Looking back, they realized life had been giving them countless opportunities to appreciate your heart, but they were too distracted to recognize the gift at the time. Now every memory feels illuminated by a new understanding. Instead of bringing sadness, these memories awaken gratitude. Gratitude for having known someone whose presence quietly changed the way they understand love. Gratitude for discovering that genuine connection isn't built on grand gestures but on countless small moments of honesty and care. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Meanwhile, you continue walking your own path, perhaps unaware that your healing has become visible to the people around you. There is a lightness in the way you carry yourself now. Not because life has become perfect, but because you've stopped carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. You are learning that someone else's inability to recognize your worth does not reduce your value. You are learning that peace is more powerful than constant explanation. You are learning that love should never require abandoning your own identity. Those lessons have transformed your energy, and that transformation is exactly what shook the heart of the person you love. They have begun understanding that what they truly desire isn't excitement without stability or attraction without trust. They want the kind of connection that allows both people to grow without pretending to be someone they're not. Every path of reflection keeps leading them back to you. Yet with every hopeful realization comes one lingering fear. They wonder if your heart has already found a peace that no longer waits for them. They wonder whether the chapter they dream about has quietly closed while they were still trying to understand its importance. That uncertainty has become the greatest challenge they have ever faced because for the first time they are no longer afraid of loving. They are afraid of remaining silent. And very soon, life is about to place one unexpected opportunity in front of them, an opportunity they never saw coming, one that will force them to choose between protecting themselves with fear or finally speaking the truth their heart has been holding back. The decision they make in that moment will change everything, because once the truth is spoken, neither of your lives will ever feel the same again. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There comes a moment in every life when silence becomes heavier than words, and without realizing it, the person you love has arrived at that exact moment. For weeks they have carried these emotions quietly, hoping they would settle on their own, believing that enough time would somehow make everything less intense. Instead, every passing day has only made one truth clearer. The more they try to create distance from their feelings, the closer those feelings seem to move toward them. They have begun understanding that some emotions are not meant to be escaped. They are meant to be understood. Every road they take seems to lead back to the same reflection. Every quiet evening becomes another opportunity for your memory to return. They never expected one simple realization about you to change the direction of their heart, yet that is exactly what has happened. What they once dismissed as admiration has grown into something far deeper. What they believed was temporary has become impossible to ignore. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Recently, something happened that caught them completely by surprise. They were listening to someone talk about relationships, about what truly makes love last, and as they listened, they found themselves comparing every word to you. The conversation wasn't even about your life, yet somehow every quality being described reminded them of your character. Loyalty, patience, honesty, emotional safety, compassion. They suddenly realized that every trait they now believe matters most has always been part of who you are. It wasn't something you turned on when people were watching. It wasn't a performance. It was simply your nature. That realization stopped them in their tracks. They sat there wondering how they had spent so much time searching for extraordinary love while overlooking someone whose ordinary actions revealed extraordinary character every single day. They remembered how you never tried to compete with anyone. You simply focused on becoming the best version of yourself. They remembered how you celebrated other people's success instead of feeling threatened by it. They remembered how your kindness remained consistent whether life was treating you gently or testing your strength. Those memories now carry a weight they never carried before because understanding changes everything. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Have you noticed that your own life feels quieter lately? Not because nothing is happening, but because your heart has finally stopped fighting battles that never belonged to you. You no longer feel responsible for convincing everyone to understand your intentions. You no longer spend sleepless nights wondering why someone failed to recognize your worth. Instead, you've started trusting that the people who are meant to remain in your life will eventually recognize the truth without you having to chase them. That shift has created a peace inside you that cannot be manufactured. It has been earned. Every difficult season, every disappointment, every unanswered prayer has slowly shaped you into someone whose confidence comes from within instead of from outside approval. That quiet confidence is exactly what the person you love noticed. They expected to see the same version of you they remembered. Instead, they encountered someone who had grown beyond old fears. Someone who no longer begged to be chosen because they had finally chosen themselves. That realization shook them more deeply than they have admitted to anyone. It made them wonder how much personal growth had happened inside you while they were distracted by their own uncertainty. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There have been nights when they couldn't sleep because one question kept returning to their heart. What if the greatest mistake they ever made wasn't something dramatic? What if it was simply failing to recognize the value of someone while they still had the opportunity to appreciate them fully? That thought has become impossible to silence. It follows them into every quiet moment. They remember conversations where you offered wisdom they weren't ready to hear. They remember moments when you showed patience even though they gave you confusion in return. They remember the comfort of simply existing in the same space with you, never realizing how rare that feeling truly was until it was gone. Sometimes life teaches us the value of peace only after we've experienced unnecessary chaos. That lesson has become one of their greatest teachers. They now understand that excitement may capture attention, but peace captures the soul. Your presence brought them peace, and now they cannot imagine why they ever underestimated something so valuable. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. If you've been seeing repeating numbers lately, 111, 222, 444, or even 888, allow them to become gentle reminders to stay grounded in hope rather than fear. Many people see these patterns as invitations to pause and reflect on where their heart is leading them. Whether you believe they carry spiritual meaning or simply encourage mindful awareness, today let them remind you that timing often reveals what rushing could never uncover. The person you love has been experiencing similar moments. They glance at the clock and notice familiar numbers just as your memory enters their mind. They hear a familiar song immediately after thinking about the last meaningful conversation the two of you shared. Small moments seem connected in ways they cannot fully explain. Instead of resisting them, they have started listening. Not because they suddenly have every answer, but because they finally trust that their heart deserves to be heard. That decision has changed them. They have become less interested in pretending everything is fine and more interested in becoming emotionally honest. They have started asking themselves difficult questions instead of avoiding them. Why did they build walls around someone who only offered understanding? Why did they mistake vulnerability for weakness? Why did they assume there would always be more time? Each answer brings both healing and humility. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. Meanwhile, you continue becoming someone who no longer measures love by empty promises. You have learned that consistency speaks louder than beautiful words. You have discovered that trust is built through actions repeated over time. You have stopped confusing attention with genuine care. Those lessons have transformed the way you see relationships. You now understand that healthy love creates peace instead of constant uncertainty. It encourages growth instead of insecurity. It inspires honesty instead of emotional games. Without realizing it, you've become the very kind of person who attracts deeper, healthier connections because you've done the difficult work of healing yourself. The person you love recognizes this transformation. They see someone who is no longer waiting for permission to shine. Someone who no longer apologizes for having a kind heart. Someone who has learned to protect their peace without losing their compassion. They admire that strength more than they can explain. In fact, they have quietly started asking themselves whether they are becoming the kind of person worthy of standing beside someone like you. That question has changed the way they approach every part of their life. They are becoming more patient, more honest, and more intentional because your example has challenged them to grow. They may never admit it out loud, but your life has become one of their greatest lessons. Don't scroll. Listen to this. This message is for you. Your heart needs this right now. There is one final realization beginning to unfold inside their heart. They have spent so much time wondering whether they deserve another opportunity that they almost forgot the most important truth of all: opportunities are created through courage, not through endless hesitation. They know they cannot rewrite the past. They know they cannot erase misunderstandings or recover lost time. But they also know that living with permanent silence would hurt far more than speaking honestly. For the first time in a long time, they are beginning to understand that fear has protected them from temporary disappointment but also kept them from genuine connection. That realization feels like a door slowly opening after years of being locked. They can almost see the future waiting on the other side, but one final step still remains. They must decide whether to trust the truth growing inside their heart or continue hiding behind uncertainty. They don't yet know exactly how everything will unfold, but one thing has become undeniable. The person they love is no longer simply someone they admire from a distance. You have become the standard by which they measure sincerity, kindness, and emotional depth. And as this realization continues growing stronger, life is quietly arranging one unexpected moment. One conversation, one encounter, one opportunity, that neither of you could have predicted. When that moment finally arrives, it won't just test their courage. It will reveal whether everything they have learned has truly transformed them, and the choice they make will begin the most important chapter of this entire story.